These two teams, they know each other, you know, through and through. And even if it's not on the same team, if you're playing in the region at this level, the amount of times you face each other just in random pubs is, you know, you can definitely write a book on that. So what are we going to see in this game? Is it going to be super back and forth? Are we going to see, like, focusing on late game, perhaps? Like, what's the style?
I think Beast Coast, they focus on that late game. They love heroes like Sven, like just ultimate late game heroes for Envy, because I know he does a lot of the drafting, and it's smart. If you think you can carry a game, that's how you should draft. And COL, they play very fast. I don't want to say OGS, but kind of. That's why you saw the Sand King banned against them. They just get an urn on that hero, and they just go crazy.
Yeah, they like to have really strong lanes as well, I notice. They often want to try and win 2 out of the 3 lanes, sometimes even more. Miracle, as much as he's kind of known for playing some of those, you know, hard carries, the Naga Siren of the past that he's famous for, it's not his best hero. His best hero is actually stuff like Ursa, where he can fight, get involved early. His Juggernaut's really good as well, so he's not maybe quite that hard carry type player that Envy is, who just wants to play more for late game.
Yeah, and I think you're right with that. Like, Miracle, like, his Naga used to be just insane, and it still is, but the fact that I think he is a little more versatile, honestly, than Eternal Envy in that case, and we'll see if they bring it out. They are using a lot of their reserve time on this first pick. A little surprised by the Earth Spirit.
Yep. Yesterday we saw Complexity win against Fnatic, and I think that is the result that was one of the more surprising ones we've had in the group stages. What was the reason that they could do that? And do you feel like they are therefore definitely the favorite going into this series? Sorry, not series, this game, one game.
I think it's just regional play. I think it's really close, but I mean, Complexity beating Fnatic. Beast Coast was very close to beating VP. Like, both these teams have shown they do have high highs, but these teams also probably have the lowest of lows, I think, of people here.
So looking for stability on both sides.
Yeah. And I mean, they gave up, it's crazy by Beast Coast. They gave up Doom. This hero's been first banned like every other game, and they don't even pick it. They take an Earth Spirit. Also, what's going on with Razor Gods? Like, is he just like a dead hero? I still think he's insane.
I mean, I think he's been a little bit overplayed and figured out. At least, I think he's one of those heroes that's very straightforward and you know what you're getting from him. But I think these top teams just don't feel like you get enough from him. Whereas at the minor, we saw Razor in like, what, 80-90% of games, or at least banned or picked. I think the idea is it's like the ease of execution is there. Like, you can't really mess up a Razor in lane or in the game. You play around it very well. But I think that, you know, your secrets, your VPs, and a lot of these other teams just think, it's, you know, Razor doesn't give us enough.
I mean, he kind of plays a little like Drow, just worse, right? You're going to go to the jungle eventually, but you're not a Drow in the carry role.
Yeah, he's very predictable, and he just doesn't maybe play fast enough to punish it. And the thing is, he's not that late game hero, so...
I like this, though. You already have 2 stuns. We talk about stuns, and it's aggressive. So it looks like Beast Coast wants to at least match the early game intensity of COL.
Yep. We'll say, and Lesh kind of flexible, too. We've seen as a core and a support, so you don't really know
We've seen
what
it everywhere. Even carry, right? Who was it? It was not Vici. It was Keen. Keen played it in the carry role.
Okay.
So we've seen it 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe, just not 5 yet. Yeah.
First for everything.
Lesh used to be a...
We did see 5.
Did we?
Adam played it yesterday as Complexity.
Lesh is the do-all hero. This hero's a beast.
Yep.
And it is, right? Like, you're one of the few heroes. You have a stun and a tower pushing ability. You're good always, pretty much.
Yeah. He plays a 5, but it was a very greedy 5, and it worked. Yeah, they won with it. They had a Sand King Lesh support duo that ended up, you know, doing a lot of work against Fnatic. So
I can't see Ike's Mike playing Leshrac, though. That doesn't feel like a him hero.
I mean, that's more likely going to be a Bane, right? If you're not going to ban it, it's going to get picked for that. He's played. They played 5 games so far, and he's played Bane 4 times.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Okay.
Omni Knight is the other one.
Oh yeah, and that was a little bit. They outpicked themselves for sure.
Yeah.
He seems though maybe not watching OG. No Abaddon. Like that hero looks so good in No Tail's really hands.
And it's pretty, I don't want to say it's simple to play. No Tail makes it look simple, but you go to a lane, you honestly just spam your Q on your carry or on, you know, the enemy hero, and you just, as long as you get that suicide, you actually have to. Though.
Yeah, the concept is very simple. The execution,
exactly.
That's always the tricky part.
But it's a save, and so far, no saves on either team right now. Very aggressive.
Yeah, this series also bans out the Nyx Assassin. We saw that ignored in the previous one. But if you're talking about saves and supports, of course, Oracle comes to mind as well.
I think that's actually a good hero for Beast Coast because you're playing against the Shadow Shaman. It's not great against Doom because you know if someone's doing False Promise on them doesn't really achieve much because they're not going to be able to, you know, you're not cleansing off Doom. You're not going to have that turnaround potential. But against Shadow Shaman, Oracle is one of the better heroes to have defensively.
And I like it for Beast Coast because it kind of denies Cole's Bat Rider, right? That's like one of Monkey's favorite heroes, and it kind of denies that hero from being played. Yeah.
The Sven removed. You mentioned the Sven carry.
Dude, he did some work in he solo carried him like 3 games in that regional qualifier with that hero. I mean, even at ESL, he was doing some work with that hero.
Yeah. It's best hero right now, you'd say?
I would say it's his best hero. I think TB and I would say Sven then TB probably for Envy.
Well, so far he's played a lot of Drow Ranger because Virtus Pro, when they played against him, let them have Drow Ranger every single time. The other games he played Spectre and Troll.
No wonder the games were close against VP.
Yeah, the Drow. It really is.
Playing with a handicap if you're VP.
The Tusk.
Tusk coming out.
I like it. That's just pure, like 3 active heroes on the map, right? Doom, I mean, usually Doom sits in a lane, but you can just run around. You get level 6, you go around, you go with the Tusk. You're killing anyone you find.
Yeah. I think this is where Cole looked best against Fnatic, was when they had this support duo that both had disables and could both roam, make plays. Shadow Shaman Tusk has a lot of kill potential. You can tri-lane with it. We're seeing a bit more of the tri-lanes coming back. So that's where heroes like the Nyx Assassin haven't been quite as popular because they're not as well suited for those tri-lanes.
There's the Oracle.
Yeah. And there's just so much... The stuns and the control, the Oracle is just so good against that.
And I like it because you can't really do an Abba here. I mean, we did see OG play a tri-lane with that, but now if this is a tri-lane versus tri-lane, it's not as bad as it once was. You know, the Oracle.
Yeah, and the Oracle can set up the rolling boulder for the Earth Spirit with the root. So
set up with the stun. Yeah, it's your opener, which is nice.
You get to see Limbs TA. This is his best hero.
I would agree with that. He plays a lot of it in pubs still. He first
other
picks
than
it
Tiny,
in pubs.
but you know, Tiny's not playable.
Lim's tried to play it. Yeah, and you're right. It doesn't look playable.
No. As far as the meta mid heroes right now, this looks like what he's best on.
And it's fast tempo, right? Like TA is maybe the fastest tempo mid hero in the game right now. You can stack for yourself. You get solo kills. You just dominate your lane.
Yep. So for complexity, we are looking to set Miracle up with something nice there for last pick.
And they can, with how good their first 4 heroes are in the early game, they could go with the latest game carry they want at this point.
Okay.
Or they could go fast as well, like Gods likes them.
And they'll wait and see what Beast Coast do.
Yeah.
Beast Coast goes super greedy. They may look to punish it by playing fast. If it suddenly becomes like, a good anti-mage game or something, they could consider something like that. Because these supports in the Leshrac don't really deal well with an anti-mage. So there's plenty of possibilities for Call.
We were saying that Leshrac was played in multiple roles, but at this point, I mean, it's not an Envy hero, right?
It's gonna be Brax. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a Brax hero for sure. I was like trying to think, like, could you do it middle versus TA? And I'm like, oh, Pulse, no, but you're not even gonna get to level 6 if you do that. So
no.
Pretty sure it's Brax. And I'm trying to think, like, they're just gonna pick. It's probably gonna be the Medusa, okay. The Rioya hero, I believe he'll play it against the TA. And you needed someone, right, who could go up and not just completely lose, but I'm not sure how well Medusa actually does.
I would imagine it's slightly TA favored.
I think most matchups feel slightly TA favored.
Yeah, I don't think.
So good.
I mean, Medusa, end of the day, you have Mystic Snake. You can burn the TA's mana pool a bit, so TA is going to be a bit more limited on how much refraction you can use. I don't think it's going to be too one-sided.
And also, if Cole's crazy enough and the AM isn't banned, if Cole has the last pick AM, you just put it mid versus that Medusa, and that is such an easy matchup for the AM now. It's actually crazy. But also, Medusa could go to a side lane, so still some mind.
Yeah, I mean, AM plus TA doesn't sound amazing, but like right now, this AM game looks pretty damn juicy, so we'll see what they want to go. As far as Beast Coast goes, they can't go too greedy with Envy's here when they've got Medusa. It feels like they need something that's a bit faster tempo, maybe something like his Ember Spirit. We've seen a lot of teams go for that safe lane Ember Spirit.
And it works because he's one of the few heroes that actually punishes a Shadow Shaman, punishes a TA super hard as well in the mid game.
Yeah. Bat Rider was banned out though, so the possibility was there that you run the Leshrac in that one position role, and Bat Rider amazing right now in this game as far as being up against a Doom in lane, as far as just the magic damage against the TA, being able to very easily deal with refraction. Would have been a very problematic hero for Cole to deal with.
Man, I'm not sure. Either team. They do ban the AM, okay. I think it's just that AM versus Medusa. It doesn't even matter about the other 8 here. It's just AM Medusa is so bad right now for Medusa. It's crazy.
By the way,
Go on, sorry.
No. That was I saw something. It's all good.
I don't know if they want to go greedy, but I feel Beast Coast. I don't think they should pick TB, but I honestly think they might.
On Beast Coast.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they might just take it
TB
right
Medusa?
here. I don't like it, but I've
okay.
seen. I know how Envy's brain.
Yeah.
I've watched this guy play in pubs. He'll last pick the most random heroes ever, and he's like, "Nah, it's good." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." We'll see.
I mean, he is here playing at this stage. You know?
He is exactly.
Gotta be a reason for
I'm
that.
trying to think. I think Ursa's pretty bad until you get like a BKB in this game. Because I'm with you. I think you want to get a fast-paced hero here and just roam as 4 with the Medusa farming.
I think the Ursa could still work. I don't mind that idea because
With the Oracle, I guess.
yeah, but that's the
especially.
thing. That's why it looks good. You just get like this movement speed, phase drums. You run at people. Oracle False Promise can purge off the disables, but they'll go with the Ember Spirit, the other MB hero that. It's a similar idea to the Ursa, where you just run at people, you create space for this Medusa, you give kill threat, you can get on the back lines. It makes a lot of sense here.
What about on the other side? Ursa's not bad versus the Ember and not horrible versus Medusa. The stuns are rough, but... Or do you want something a little...
I love Ursa, especially when you've got hard lockdown from a Shaman, because that's the one thing with Ursa, that sometimes you have problems staying on top of a hero, but when you've got that lockdown, Doom is a similar idea where they can't use their items or escape spells if you're doomed. It's a pretty good Ursa game for complexity as well.
And I like they've already played it once. They've shown, like, as you said, it's not just the Miracle Farm Fest now. It's he will run at you, and he'll do it pretty well.
If not, you're looking at maybe heroes that can Manta Diffusal through the Medusa's mana pool, like the Jug. Naga's, I'm not sure sold on the Naga. I mean, you're going to give Medusa all these Mystic Snake targets, and I think those illusions don't necessarily... will just refill Medusa's mana pool, if anything, so...
I don't hate Monkey
There we go.
either, but it's yours, so yeah. Very similar things, and yeah, this is going to be an action-packed game, I think, either way. Unless this Medusa can super slow down this game, we're just going to see heads butting this entire time.
That's the way we like it,
That
though,
is,
right?
especially in a best-of-1
Yes.
elimination. We just want to see 20 to 20 kills at 5 minutes in.
If we can get that, that would be great. I also am curious to hear from you guys who will come out on top of that brawl you're describing.
I think Cole wins it. They could win it in 20 minutes, but if this Medusa has any sort of decent laning phase, I think they can just fall back to her farming the jungle while these other 4 protect her. And I don't know. I favor Beast Coast a little bit.
Yeah, I love both teams' drafts as far as picking stuff that suits them. I'm going to give a slight edge to Complexity just because they've gone so much in their comfort zone with Limp on TA and Miracle playing Ursa. I think this is just a really good Ursa game too. So
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned him at the start already. That's one of the heroes that you like to see Miracle on. So
And I will say the Complexity, they have a little bit better Roche taking too. And when you can fight around Roche and feel confident taking, that is a little bit. So, I'll still go Beast Coast. I'll go 51-49 though.
I mean, that sounds like a very
We'll go
even
with
game,
that.
and that's the way we want it. It's a best-of-1 game. It's going to be decided by which team plays better. So let's find out who that is and which team moves forward here in the tournament and which team is the first one to get eliminated. Let's head over to our commentary teams of Capitalist and Fogged.
That's right. It's going to be me and Fog for this one.
Oh, hello.
The best of 1 between Complexity and Beast Coast. Fog, we were both a little bit puzzled there when they picked up with the Medusa, but they did wrap it up with an Ember Spirit, a different mid.
Yeah, when I saw the Deuce, I was like, oh god, I really don't hope they put this Deuce versus the TA mid, because I've seen this matchup a lot. TA does fantastic in that one, so yeah. They close it out by picking that Ember, so Ryoya we will be seeing him go mid with Ember Spirit. And yeah, I'm just dipping in with all the casters, I cast with Grant, cast with Owen, none with you.
Here, a little there.
Yeah, man.
I like this matchup a lot because I think it's just a battle of the two like most prevalent NA mids that are just kind of like they've never like Limp has always been good and Roya has always been good, but they've never been great.
Just on the cusp.
It's like, oh man, I mean, both of them, to be honest, are sick in online NA qualifiers, man.
Yeah.
Both of them are insane. And then when it comes to LAN time, neither one of them has consistent, strong results.
Yeah, they both in pubs, they play super confident, right? And very aggressive. And when I see them playing in pro games, I mean, sometimes that happens anyway. You take a step back, but with these guys, I see it happen the most. They take a step back from their aggression, and you can really see it happen a lot in their plays. But this matchup is going to be fun, because this is going to be them just literally trying to kill each other in the mid matchup. The TA
this is the matchup
I love it.
That can go either way, right?
Yeah, I've seen. It depends on the player. Like, I've seen people be like, TA wins. I've heard people say Ember wins. Like, yeah, it's just about killing each other pretty much. And we'll see bottom. Looks like they might be trying to catch an immediate kill on East Coast, setting up with 3 here.
Monkeys trying to block the creep wave as much as possible, and then hides in the trees the moment he sees something's up, but he is going to be triple stunned here. A little bit of overlap of those stuns, and that could make the difference, as Monkeys is just going to TP to the tier 1, immediately devour a creep.
All right.
And that's a little awkward for the tri-lane of Beast Coast. They're not going to do a full tri-lane, though. Oracle is needed at the top lane, where there is an aggro tri-lane from Complexity.
And he got all the last hits. He got all 4 as the Doom. Full experience gained for himself. Level 2 already. All right, well,
Beautiful.
that's I mean, that's a great start for Monkeys already. He sees the full tri-lane, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Gets the fast level 2. The only thing that could be better is somehow he gets a hard cam. But that is going to be body blocked by the Earth Spirit. He's not going to allow the Doom to get that extra farm.
Yeah, they got to keep making sure to do that one. They can keep trying to like put some pressure on him here, because they could probably look, and Monkeys only has 2 tangos actually on himself. So as long as they just keep poking him constantly, they can set him a little bit low. Once he starts getting levels, we know what Devour's capable of. That second point in particular really just bumps you all the way up to, like, if you have 2 of them eaten at a time.
I love how the mid lane is so mirrored. A little bit of aggression here in the top lane, but the tri-lane has yet to find a real opening. And now Eternal Envy is level 2, so that's just going to make things a bit more difficult. We've got him on the screen. What do you think about TMT's performance so far? Because this could be potentially the last time we talk about him.
I mean, he's been all right. And the thing is, it's with Beast Coast, right? They've had some decent showings in some of their games that I don't think people expected, right? When they took the game from VP in particular.
Yeah. They
had some really nice games. His Sand King, I think he had like a couple of good games in the early game, but yeah, he's been okay.
Yeah.
Nothing like super flashy or anything. Not like your Roger when he first came to VP, when he just was like balling out of control, nothing like that. But he's been doing okay.
There's definitely some moments where I was like, I can see why they picked this guy up.
Yeah. We're starting to see, though, Limp, just how comfortable he is with this matchup. We've said it can go both ways, but Limp, he's very comfortable with it, and he's doing fantastic. All those denies, that's one thing that does end up happening, right? Like, TA is always going to get the denies in this lane, but you'd expect Rio to have a couple more last hits, not just like the 4 for himself.
Yeah.
He's just getting hit by every side blade.
This is getting rough. Limp is just dismantling him with these side blade attacks. Roya. Oh, bottom lane. Trying to go for Monkeys forever. He's already level 3, has the 2 levels to devour, but they did choose a good time. He is actually not devouring a creep at all right now, so they're going to be able to run him down, and that will be first blood for Brax.
He didn't actually eat a tango that entire time, too. When he was getting hit, he had all these trees around him. He didn't even choose to cut a tree or eat a tango. He looked like he kind of panicked a little bit, trying to dodge the stun.
If he hadn't gone right into the trees, I feel like if he just eaten a tree and eaten a creep, he would have had a lot of regen to deal with. Top lane, they are finally finding the opening that they've been searching for. Ike's Mike gets separated between the Medusa and goes down. So 1-1 now. I wonder if this matchup is even more favored to TA now because of the Sleight of Fist prevalence that everyone's going for the Ember Spirits, where they're maxing that out. Like, TA can obviously deal with that pretty easily.
I think you probably
don't have the same kind of kill power as the 202 against as the old build against TA.
Yeah, that's actually pretty true. I mean, TA does. I've seen the TA like mostly win, but I have seen these Embers like kill her. But it's like this one. I mean, Limp is just completely destroying. Actually, all the lanes are looking incredibly well for Complexity right now too. Like, look at Envy's last hits. He's got 4 on this Dusa. He's not able to get really anything up here. Like, it's just going to be Brax having the good game, and he's going to have to do a lot for his team.
And he is kind of like I feel like he's the big star playmaker. He has done so much work for Beast Coast, but yeah, I'm not sure if they're really going to be able to put this entire game on his back as That's kind of what this laning phase is beginning to show, especially if Z-Freak can get a good gank on this mid lane. Roya just going to be chased away so Limp can secure the double damage rune. And even if it doesn't kill the Ember Spirit, it definitely secures this lane just a bit more. Actually does manage to get the shackles here. Look at that, the deny Sideblade hit and the follow-up. Roya does end up falling, and Limp is now a level 5 TA who's going to push the creep wave into the tower. This is becoming a disaster for Beast Coast.
And the lineup of complexity, you look at it, and the snowball potential is absolutely massive. They not only have a TA Ursa for Roche, but they also have Shadow Shaman for it too, and also to take these objectives. So if they get this ball rolling as they are at the moment, you could really see it end quite quickly. Beast Coast really have to start getting some things hitting on their side, because top lane, Dusa is still 4 last hits, level 2, hiding in the trees, trying to even just desperately get experience. Miracle has phase boots and level 4 already. Look, he's just chasing Envy in the trees.
Yeah, he knows he can just run at this tower completely unimpeded. They're going to be able to find the Medusa quite easily. And at the end, like, what are you really scared of if you're Complexity? If both supports TP up to the top lane, you can still win that fight. It's going to be an Oracle level 2 who doesn't have the damage to threaten anybody, and an Earth Spirit who's really not much of a damage heavy hitter himself.
I mean, Oracle's level 1. Mike's only 1.
Oh, he's only level 1.
He hasn't hit 2. He's close to the 2, but they look like they want to try to emphasize going for Limp here with 3 heroes, but I mean, Limp's about to be 6. And Mike, like we said, he's only level 1 still. Looks like he's trying to get level 2 here, but okay, he will get it. And they're actually just going to ditch it.
Okay.
So, bit of wasted time there. They're still getting farm on Brax, which is going great, but yeah, this Medusa, Envy gets nothing. He's just hiding, and Miracle's just going to keep chasing him. Hunting in those trees.
And all the while that he's not hitting creeps, this siege wagon is dumpstering the tower, and soon Envy will not have a tower to hide around at all. In fact, they're going to bring extra supports up here, and they're going to catch him eventually here. Envy can't do anything. I mean, this is just crazy because, oh, look at him. He's trying to go for the deny on the tower, almost gets it.
Well, that would have been nice at least for himself, but this is a total disaster, Cap. Like,
I mean, they picked these lanes. They kind of knew what was going to be happening here. They said, all right, we've got the Ember versus TA matchup. We can do this, and oh, Jesus. That was not a good gank whatsoever. Limp just turns on IX Mike. He tries to go for a TP out, but that will not be fast enough. But now the Shackles actually grabs him, snowball over to bring the TA in close proximity with Roya. Roya's going to be slowed down. He heads for the trees. Z-Freak actually thinking they can pursue, keeps on chasing, gets nailed by TMT underneath the tower. Limp will take the aggro of the tower. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Brax 1v1 solo kills Monkeys forever. He has been the silver lining for Beast Coast all tournament and in this game.
He really has to be the saving grace. He has a full Atos already finished up on that Lesh. That's actually pretty miraculous. Didn't go for the Arcane Boots, but has that already done. I mean, he could definitely be the one to run around and make the space. He's pretty tanky, and his hero is naturally good versus the TA, at least in particular, right?
Yeah.
If he gets on top of her, she's dead, unless she bursts him down. Which right now, they're actually looking to try to slow it down, Brax. They're even bringing Limp bottom.
I mean, I just can't believe he has the full rod already. TMT is going to be revealing this Doom. Brax with his damage trying to go for it. Limp is here as well. They need to be able to burst him down fast, otherwise Monkeys Forever is dead. Maybe 343 is dead as well. Limp, he may not be able to finish off Brax. He can't. That's a double kill for Brax, and Beast Coast is back.
There we go. All right, well, they kind of just... Brax was like, oh, I actually don't have to make the move myself. They came to me. That was great. Wow, okay. Yeah, full Atos delivered right before that play happened.
They definitely underestimated how much farm he's gotten out of that lane.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly what they needed to start themselves to get caught back up. Because also Ryoya in the mid lane was able to get level 6 picked up, get a little bit more, get I think the boots finished up as well. However, Envy was not able to get any space out of that because he still only has 6 last hits at the 8-minute mark.
It is, you identified really early on this lineup from Complexity. They can play fast. They can get the snowball rolling. Simultaneously, they can't afford to make too many mistakes and lose that snowball feeling, right? Because this is definitely going to be a late game lineup for Beast Coast that will outscale you.
Yeah, as long as they're not too far behind, of course, right?
Yeah, right.
But look at this. I mean, they have this ward down, and Envy doesn't have boots. He already buys his Wraith Band, just accepting his death.
Envy!
He's accepting his death already.
I guess so. Oh, dear. Roya, I mean, he made a little bit of attempt to run to Envy, but has to jump away. At the same time, they do take the tier 1 bottom lane.
I just brought up net worth for myself. I just saw that he's actually bottom 2 as well. Man, this is going to be so hard for him even to catch back up.
But how are you?
Like,
How are you behind IX Mike? Dude, Mike plays a hard 5. He's not playing Bane either.
Man, I don't know.
All right.
I mean, it's a safe lane Deuce. It's not easy, and they got pressured super hard, but he is so far behind. Like, even if he gets, let's say, 5 minutes in the jungle, he doesn't have the levels with Split Shot or Snake to actually be able to farm at a good pace. So
yeah,
he's actually just walking toward mid, and he's bootless.
I think they're gonna kick Roya out of his lane prematurely here. This is not like the time that Ember Spirits really just run around non-stop killing.
I mean, at least now he got a tower last hit, which is pretty big there. So at least bring him toward that mid lane to give him that. But we see on the meantime, look what Limp is doing. He's farming those Ancients on TA. Level 8 already finished up in comparison. Some nice aggressive wards though, right? In the meantime.
Nice catch here in the Tusk. They just chain stun him pretty easily. He's able to get off the snowball at the last second, but it won't matter, as he is definitely pulled back to his doom. And Roya makes sure he gets the last hit for that one. Much like Envy got the last hit for the tower, these two cores need to be able to find some extra farm.
Yeah. Complexity still needs to, like you were talking about. They don't want to be playing like they have a bunch of time. They want to be playing this really sped up, just keep looking to put the pressure on. I think next objective is more than likely that mid tower.
I mean, I just can't believe they lost their mid tower. They didn't fight for it all. I thought they were stronger than Beast Coast.
I don't know. It looks like they were prioritizing taking Ancients, right? Limp was just farming his Ancients during the time when they were taking the mid tower, but yeah, I mean, Brax is getting so much base out of all this. Atos and 2,000 gold finished up, and now 3-4-3 again, getting spot.
Oh, nice snowball away. Roya is going to pursue with a Rod of Atos and the Urn on him. Roya commits a Spirit just to make sure the Tusk does fall. And they zip away just like this. This constant aggression in this bottom lane from Beast Coast. Complexity have yet to be able to formulate a good response. Miracle has TP down here, and he's got this big movement speed build in both the phase and the drums, but
Beast Coast has gold advantage.
They do.
They just got gold advantage.
They've had it for a good, solid minute now.
Yeah, and Envy is now level 6, and he's queued up the Midas. He said, I don't need boots. I'm going Gloves of Haste. I'm trying to farm mid lane.
D-Freak trying to get as much damage on the mid-tier 1 tower. It will not fall, though.
Did he just go? He just went alone?
Yeah.
They're playing very split up. They're giving a lot of opportunities to Beast Coast when they were like level 1 and 2 on majority of their heroes. They're giving all the room in the world for Envy to catch up. We said he needed like 5-10 minutes. It looks like he might actually start be able to get that point.
Yeah. Dude, he's going back for a hand of Midas potentially. Yeah. No boots, hand of Midas.
He's starting to stack up some camps, and his team is just running around and looking to fight while on cold. They're not really looking to take the fight. They're just getting ran at by Beast Coast a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. That's some space for Envy.
I mean, I can see a little bit of the like, if they don't have the Blink Dagger on the Ursa, it's kind of hard to just run at this lineup at Beast Coast, especially when Brax is so big.
But that's not the way that they're playing the Ursas, right? Lately, we've been seeing this like phase drum, and you just pop your phase in your drum, and you just charge at heroes. So it's surprising to see them like not actually looking to go for these aggressive plays when they're so far ahead.
Well, they do finally take that mid-tier 1 tower, but it comes at a cost. Bottom tier 2 is already gone, and now we have creeps pushing towards the base, and that just means, I mean, Beast Coast pretty much own that entire bottom half of the map.
Yeah, and Brax has a Vitality booster on top now too. I think he actually has the full Soul booster. Yeah, Soul booster on top of that Atos. 1,665 HP with 9 armor. This Lesh is a huge problem for Complexity right now. If he gets on top of, I mean, if they don't burst him down with the Ursa, he's gonna just run rampant inside the fight.
4,600 building damage already by that Leshrac, and that's, I mean, it's well done by Brax, but it's also because they just haven't had an answer.
Z-Freak top, he's alone. He shows he doesn't have a TP. He just gets caught by a quick Atos from that rotation.
And I'm just looking at Complexity farming the same, the same off-lane camp areas, farming the Ancients.
I guess they just want to play the farm game a little bit here versus Adusa, who now has a Midas.
What a weird turn of events is Beast Coast hasn't built up a bigger net worth advantage despite these kills. It's gone from 6-6 to 6-9, but still below a 1,000 net worth lead by them.
Maybe now.
Feel like
they have Blink on Limp, right? I believe Monkeys Forever is approaching his too. He went for the 4 in the Devour, so he went for that like full greed build rather than going for any type of extra points in Scorched Earth for the aggression.
That is surprising. I'm not sure how many people I've seen go for the full Devour build.
Yeah.
2 levels, maybe 3, but...
Yeah, definitely a bit different here, and it's gonna make it so that they just have to farm a bit here before they can make any aggressive moves, and I think Beast Coast is very happy. Envy's level 8 now. We were talking about he was level 4 a couple minutes ago, like 5 minutes ago or so.
When a level 4 Medusa strolls up and takes the last hit on a mid-tier 1 tower,
yeah,
something has not gone right in the game.
That is for sure. As Complexity, I mean, they're just still kind of sitting back. They don't want to make moves, it seems.
With the Blink Dagger first on TA, like, if you guys were going to farm like this, then you could have just gone straight Deso or something, but...
Yeah. Maybe now, okay, now that maybe the double blink. Maybe that's what they're waiting for, because now they have it on Monkeys. I don't think they have a smoke on them just yet. I think, okay, Z-Freak bought one, so they're going to bring it out. And then they're going to look to make a smoke move here, but they've given so much time to Beast Coast to farm.
Yeah, and because of that, like, Beast Coast has pushed down a lot of towers. They've gotten a lot of aggressive vision. This very deep mid ward is going to spot both Monkeys and Limp running together here. IX Mike is going to get caught as a result of trying to go for that bounty rune, but it's just the 5 position, so not too big of a deal for Beast Coast. Radavetos goes out, but will not be able to save him. Is that Beast Coast grabbing 3? I would say they're absolutely happy being able to trade a 5 position for 3 bounties. Not so sure if they want to give up Roshan, but I don't think they can really defend it.
Yeah, this looks really, really difficult here as, immediately TMT even steps up and just gets gone on.
Yeah, and that's just one of those situations I feel like you couldn't defend it anyway, so you didn't need to be close.
Yeah. Hey, this could just be, it could just be Cole just be like, you know what, we don't need to force anything. Maybe we just want to have this type of, them make the action happen to us, they make a mistake, and we get a rush and try to just end the game really quickly off of it, but...
Yeah.
It is still, it's so much space, right? They've given just so much time for this Deuce to at least catch back up for herself. But now they at least got the main objective, right? Their lineup is, it's really, you have a TA and an Ursa. If you don't get Roche, you're not happy.
You could see, like, the moment that Envy gets that last hit on the tower and got all that space, his farm started paralleling what it should have been.
Yeah.
Right? And he actually started getting that progression that we normally see out of Medusas. So, exactly what you were talking about, being able to get the Medusa space has allowed this to become a little bit more of a regular game.
Yeah. Level 9, Midas. Got the 4-4 build. So, yep, Ancients aplenty. And they haven't actually contested this area at all on the side of Cole. Not even a ward, not a trap, nothing to at least keep tabs of the Deuce's farm. I'm really surprised they haven't put anything there. They're really just playing the priority around that top side.
The Ember will farm out that bottom lane, push it in, while the trio of Beast Coast kind of works their way through towards mid, just kind of searching for anybody in this area. They're not going to contest the top lane, it seems, feeling like that is fully the ownership of Complexity.
Yeah, both teams kind of just mirror moving, right? We see one, like the Ursa or the TA farming Ancients and the Deusa farming Ancients on the opposing side. So they have Serpent Wards up in about 5 seconds. Looks like Z-Freak wants to do something up here with this catapult.
Yeah.
Considering it, but looks like someone made a better judgment call.
It's when they're mirroring, right? I think a little bit comes down to what team has the gumption.
Yeah.
To go high ground and force the enemy team back. It's a risky move, but if you do so successfully and get out successfully, then fantastic. You just force the enemy team inside their base.
Yeah. Instead, they look like they're going to try to catch people once they do start to retreat. They actually smoke up inside of the jungle. And they've committed for the full BKB now on Miracle. So this could be the time, Aegis BKB, take the last tier 2s, take the bottom, try to claim this control around the Roshan, or around the ancient area of the Deusa. So now they do place that ward down there. And with that BKB, they just feel a lot safer. Double blinks and a BKB now, they can actually safely charge into these scarier high grounds.
And a double damage on a Templar Assassin doesn't hurt either. Z-Freak seems like they couldn't find the opening on a quick kill, so they'll just drop the Serpent Wards here in the mid-tier 2 and start taking over that off-lane jungle that Medusa farms so much, and that's why immediately Beast Coast evacuate that area. They start taking more control over the Radiant jungle, just playing away from Complexity at all costs.
8 to 9. Quite the farming game in comparison to what we've had a lot. We've had a lot of just kill per minutes, on both sides, we've like 36 kills usually by 18 minutes. This one is very slowed down after the first first 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 4 minutes that we saw.
Yeah. Our timing is about to ramp up even more for Complexity as they're going to finish off the Deso for the TA.
Yeah.
And that will be even more kill power and a little bit of high ground potential.
It's pretty funny how neither team actually sees each other at all right now when you look how much vision they have on the map, just because they're both playing literally on the opposite sides of each other. There's like 5 or 6 wards on the side of Beast Coast, and they haven't seen a single hero yet. Now they caught a glimpse of the Ursa down bottom, but for the most part, they were playing with very limited information, even though they have so many wards on the map.
So now Complexity is going to play bottom, push out that wave, take the tier 1 and 2, and then at that point they're trying to secure a chokehold. Oh
Limp.
No, that is not the position to be in as Limp. They've been playing away from each other, but Beast Coast set up a nice trap here in the off-lane jungle as long as Envy gets out, but he doesn't.
That was a long TP.
That was a long TP for sure.
It absolutely was.
Oh dear. Who is Jackie Mao yelling at right now? Why did you TP to that place?
I mean, now it ends up being like it's okay for Cole because they got the TA, but the Dusa was taken out on Beast Coast. And now what? Bounty runes come out. It will be a 2-for-2 exchange. So, all right. But that was what? Stone Gaze was used.
Mm-hmm.
So
it also meant that Beast Coast is out of position for that mirroring effect that they were doing. So now they're not owning that bottom half of the map while Complexity is taking over top. So a lot of map control lost.
Yeah, and while Beast Coast has to back up to their base, they're walking through vision that Cole did play. So Complexity has all that information coming for themselves. They see the Oracle running down bottom. They see the, I think it was the Earth Spirit running through that ancient warded area.
Yeah. 9 to 10, 20 minutes in. Complexity versus Beast Coast in this best of 1 elimination match. It has been very close with a lot of good plays and bad.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have the smoke up here from Ike's Mike and Eternal Envy. I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's just to be able to get the Medusa into the Radiant jungle undetected so he can farm that area.
That's what it looked like.
And if they would be right. They did actually walk through. There's a very deep lane ward at bottom.
Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely true. I mean,
So-
it's also Mike who smoked too, so it could be him like, I want a ward, and then Envy's like, yo, catch me in it. I'll just, go to a place to jungle unexpected.
That would make sense. 3-4-3 is going to be caught here. The silence, kick out, and Eternal Envy shows himself, haha, I've been bottom the whole time.
Yeah, and with that move, they're playing around their vision. Mike gets a lot more wards delivered.
Now, Z Freak's going to come down here as well, led by Miracle.
They do see them.
He's not going to catch anybody here. The vision sees all these rotations. I feel like this game, it's kind of going the way that Beast Coast want, in that Complexity's just chasing around and most of the time not actually catching them. If there was just a firmer control over the vision game, if we had some of these wards taken away with sentries, hell, I mean, even at this point, get an early gem because you're just kind of like running around in circles.
Yeah. I mean, Complexity definitely doesn't want to, like we were saying, they don't want to just be waiting around in this game. I mean, they're playing versus a Medusa, so if they get to the later stages, they're not going to have fun. It's a Dusa, but it's also a Dusa with backup and with an Oracle.
Yeah.
Like, you can't forget, if there's an Oracle, that means you can get more Mystic Snakes off when you're False Promise. So you're probably going to reset the team fight pretty nicely, as Z-Freak is looking very dead.
Just drops the Serpent Wards. That just means more farm for Beast Coast off of getting that kill. Roya's going to look for an extra kill, and they're going to be able to find it too. Monkeys Forever, chain stunned real quickly, and Beast Coast, just like that. They see one pick off, they can turn it to 2. Press forward. I really love what TMT is doing right here. Looking for the extra kill. That's going to be on Miracle. Now, that is going to be a little bit of block in from the Ice Shards. He pops the Enrage, but there's a Rod of Age who's still available from Brax. He now pops his BKB and turns and fights for real. TMT is going to be saved by the Oracle. Brax is not going to be as lucky, though. Brax taking so much damage from the Fury Swipes. He will be finished off, and Roya only has so many spirits to work with. He's got to retreat and fast. He's running low on mana. Mike tries to turn around and kill 343. It was a close call, but 343 will survive. A massive kill on Brax. Beast Coast have overstepped themselves, it seems, especially if they lose Roya here, who is out of spirits, is now dead. Double kill for Limp. That went from disaster for Complexity, as they shouldn't be losing to any fights to Beast Coast, who all of a sudden, a good fight for them.
Yeah.
It's like the Medusa pick-off all over again.
It's crazy how aggressive they really went for the Ursa in particular, right? They have to know that this Ursa has BKB. He's had it for, like 7 minutes at least. They committed really hard for him, and their physical damage just isn't really there to break through an Ursa at this point. Even without the BKB, he's pretty tanky, right? Like, this hero has 20 armor and Enrage built in, so 2,000 HP you have to already burst through. So he can just turn, and they're able to just because of that overextension. So the first 2 moves by TMT, very nice, but then that was a little bit too far with the tower right there with a TA who's still in the game. And that gives Limp... I mean, Limp was farming that whole time. He showed up right at the end and just got cleanup kills. He pretty much has full BKB now.
Ooh, that is super scary. They do not have any control against a BKB TA.
No, and I mean, BKB Ursa, BKB TA, that's when you're like, your Dusa feels a little bit scared because you can't actually peel away. They just stick on you, and they're going to be able to burn you down because those two, they do deal enough physical damage to melt through with that energy shield. Or mana shield, sorry. What the hell did I say? Energy shield?
I don't know, but I kind of liked it.
No, I don't, because I'm pretty sure that's a Han thing or something.
Oh, no. Never mind.
Mention that one. I think Kyle's just getting to me.
25-minute bounty runes are coming up, and Beast Coast going to do what they've been doing for a while now, taking over the right-hand side. BKB is up for the TA, though. So while Complexity, we said they kind of dropped the ball a little bit on the control they had over this game, they can just as easily end it by 30 minutes.
For sure.
Just one fight and a high ground push.
And this next Aegis, right? We have a minute until we see what happens. If they're able to take
off like this is the perfect opportunity. Roya gets caught from the long range initiation of Z-Freak.
1 minute till that Roche, though. So he's going to be up in time for it, but they do kill it very fast when it is up. And if they have Aegis and Cheese with these BKBs, like you said, they could definitely just go straight for that high ground. One more pick off. They should just hunt right now. No Ember, find somebody else. And they are hunting immediately.
And they're going to find him. TMT, again, Z-Freak with the Ether Lens. He's going to catch that support. Now that's 45 seconds down, and a good opportunity. Pushing. Honestly, the Creepway's going for it. Let's just lay down some Serpent Wards.
Yeah, top's pushing. It looks like Envy's going to do a split push at the same time. Never mind, he cancels his TP, or he TP's toward top. They want to actually just defend instead, since it is Serpent Wards that are committed. And he kills those wards very easily with his Manta. Look at that.
Yeah.
And they're gone.
Glyph was used. But at the same time, it's not like Complexity is going to go for another high ground push anytime soon. They've used their Serpent Wards, but also they got to secure Roshan. The last thing you want to do is go into a high ground push. When Roshan comes up, you somehow lose that fight.
Bottom,
give away.
They've lost half HP on this tower just to creep so far this game. It's been, I think that's the third catapult wave that's gone straight to hitting that one. There is a DD outside of the Roche pit.
Oh no.
And it respawns.
Nobody let Nahaz know. Tell him to close down the stream.
But they are all up in time, though, right? Beast Coast, they are here. There is no Serpent Wards available on the side of Complexity.
Do you think they could
have
just
we seen
go
a Doom?
for it?
Sorry. Have we seen a Doom use this game?
I don't
think so.
No. I don't think we've seen a Doom.
Yeah. I think you'd look for a fight. Cole, they have this catch ready, and they still probably should feel pretty strong with these BKBs ready. They even have the third one, so they have the triple BKB on the cores now. So they definitely should just be looking to try to catch somebody here.
Look at the great way they're wrapping around here, nice and deep. Roya is specifically in position to pop the smoke on the high ground, but that's not where Complexity's going. They're going all the way around. They're going to be able to doom that Leshrac immediately. Now IX Mike in the back line is going to get picked off. He's forced to use that false promise on himself. Brax immediately buys back and goes for it, but Miracle still has BKB activated. They know how important it is to be able to kill Brax. Miracle realizes he's going to get kited around and quickly goes to the TP out. Super smart play by him. And look at that, Z-Freak blinking himself away. He can't actually get out of range of TMT's Earth Spirit, but he can at least pull the creep wave over a little bit. So one buyback used from Beast Coast, and Complexity only lost 2 supports. That is not too bad.
Yeah, it was instantly as soon as the buyback comes out, they noticed, like, oh my god. Like, Miracle, he tries to chase this Leshrac for about 2 seconds, and he's like, this guy has boots of travel, and he's Leshrac with the movement speed talent. Can't catch him.
Can Beast Coast actually take Roshan themselves while these BKBs are on cooldown?
They're going to be getting up pretty soon, though. 20 seconds for the Shadow Shaman to be up. TA still has BKB.
And they have no minus armor, so they do not take it that quickly.
They kill this very slow.
Yeah, this is looking worse and worse as time goes on. Even worse when 3-4-3 does spot them out with the ice shards, and Beast Coast realizing this is not the time to go for it, but maybe they can still go for the fight. They're gonna blow up. Nice Centaur stun out from Monkeys Forever. Look at the side blades go. They're going for Brax immediately, trying to take him down. They will be successful. Ice Mike is dead, and now Eternal Envy has no supporting cast, so he's slowly gonna be run down. Triple kill for Limp. Let's potentially make it 4 as Roya is gonna wait until that Remnant gets to the high ground, jump over to it, but they have so many blink daggers. Roya tries to go for the CP out, but cut down immediately by Limp, and that's going to be 5 here as TMT. He's going to be caught. Monkeys Forever, by far, had the worst game of complexity. We hadn't seen a Doom. He lost his laning phase horribly, and he makes it all back with one sick Blink Centaur stun.
He actually just caught all 3 of them lined up perfectly for Limp to get, what, 3 or 4 side blade hits off during it. Look at the damage from this Templar Assassin during that fight. 5,982. The next highest damage was 1,700, and that was from the Ursa. Absolutely perfect. We'll give Adam some credit too, right? He was the Tusk who baited them to go up onto the high ground, and they all clumped together. Now, this is a Rex. They may even consider going for 2 as...
I mean, I love the way they did it too. They're like, let's try and force any buybacks we can. Let's just go straight to the high ground with our Serpent Wards. Meanwhile, we'll also do Roshan with the Ursa, because that's nice and easy. He doesn't really need the extra help.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a great heads-up play, and they're actually playing it safe. They're like, you know what? They're respawning. Let's not go for the 2. Let's take out the Shrine, and we still have tier 1 bottoms.
Yeah.
You know, we still have some extra gold on the map to get. And
when we talk about this lineup, like, okay, the timer, you gotta hurry things up. Once you get 1 lane of Rax, it's like everything resets again. You can play cool. You're like, all right, we just bought ourselves another 10 minutes.
Yeah, these blinks and BKBs are just such a problem, like we said, for Beast Coast. They just immediately triple jump or double jump on top of the target that they want to kill, and they will burst them. It's just so much physical damage. And I'm looking around, and do they actually have any ways to like protect each other? I think they do have the 1 Force Staff on Envy now. Yeah, he does have the Force now to guard his teammates, but besides that, they didn't have anything to save anybody, right? They have the Ghost Scepter on the Earth Spirit, but that's for himself. Everybody else, you get jumped on, there's nobody who can Force Staff you away, Glimmer you to protect you versus this TA and this Ursa. Now at least they have 1 on the Dusa.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge problem, especially when we look at like how quickly Brax died. He just got popped immediately by complexity, and he was supposed to be the big tanky beast. I mean, he's got that Bloodstone, he's got the Rod of Atos, he's even got an Ogre Club at this point, building into a BKB. Complexity just gonna go for the high ground immediately here in the bottom lane, and we're looking for just that. Force those TPs, back up, you don't need to do anything else.
Yeah, especially now when you're finishing up all these items. They just, they just got how much gold in the last few moments? So, 7,000 or so gold with all the last series of events. I think they're finishing up a full data list on TA, has it, DD. They're all picking up their next set of items.
Abyssal Blade is about to be finished for Miracle, so when we're talking about, like, when they get on top of somebody, they just die so quickly. Now we're going to have both the TA and the Ursa being able to secure a kill guaranteed unless we have that Oracle save, but you can only save 1.
Yeah.
Roya outside the base immediately gets the Blink Hex, but there is the Oracle behind them, so Complexity, again, great discipline by them not trying to just all run at that Ember Spirit and potentially lose a fight here on the Beast Coast base.
Miracle's just hunting. Look at this. He's just sitting mid. He's just waiting for somebody to show. He's got the Furious, the original Overpower prepped.
Ooh,
Doesn't get a bash.
Get a bash. Much like the first series of the day, we're going to see an Ursa go for MKB immediately. We know that.
Yeah, you're going to
see a Butterfly eventually, so might as well.
That Dusa. Definitely got to expect to see that coming. But yeah, Cole now with such firm hold of this game. 14k gold lead, 14k experience lead as well.
And really going for it here. Blinks up into the high ground. Limp is going to one-shot the Oracle. Now he's going to turn that damage into somebody else. Monkeys Forever misses the Centaur stun onto the Leshrac. That's really the kill they want. He is the hardest to beat in these team fights. And if they could just get a little bit control, they can easily get that kill with the Oracle gone, but they don't have it. 3-4-3, actually chasing him down. TMT commits for that kill and is still able to back up. Miracle now just runs right into Medusa. Pops his BKB. And that, fortunately, because of the Force Staff, will be able to get Eternal Envy to safety. But he's already blown his ultimate. They don't have any other fighting power, so it's not like they can punish Miracle one bit. They traded, what, 1 for 2 there, right?
Yep.
That was actually just a pretty decent fight for Beast Coast. Anything that results in them not losing the game immediately has got to be good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but you can still see how confident Complexity is still starting to feel, right? At least the way that Miracle just played that fight, he just walked up into a high ground versus them because he's not worried too much about their disables when the Earth Spirit starts to run away. He only has to worry about getting chain stunned if Earth Spirit and Lesh are there.
As a result, though, they are not going to make use of this Aegis.
No, they're not. It's going to be ticking away.
So
They still do have the cheese, though, right?
they do still have
They
the
do
cheese.
still have the cheese on TA.
And we did say they kind of bought themselves some time. You know, we could obviously wait for the second Roshan go high ground again, or third Roshan rather. With that kind of net worth lead, it does give time for Beast Coast to finish up some of these items, like the Hurricane Pike we just saw. We have the BKB almost there for the last rack.
They just still don't have damage. They have magical damage when the BKBs are down, but their physical damage just still really isn't there. Like Envy, he had to go for some type of defensive item, as we saw there. You know, the Hurricane Pike just try to save himself or teammates that get jumped on, but now it's going to be some more time before he actually is able to be a right-clicking force. He's got the Scotty and the Butterfly queued up, but those are a ways away.
Beast Coast here on the brink of elimination against their NA brothers in Complexity. And this is a team that obviously had a lot of heat on their back going into this tournament, given their roster changes, given how the community felt about them. They were able to show that there was something good.
Yeah.
Right? They took a game against Virtus Pro. If they could have gotten past here, made it deeper through a lower bracket run, they could say to themselves and say to the world that, hey, the roster changes we made, they were for a cause. We were able to succeed and do something. But going out last in the tournament, that is not going to feel good. So Beast Coast holding on for dear life here as a second lane of racks just going to get evaporated here by Limp unless Beast Coast formulates some sort of response. They just focus on the range racks here with the Serpent Wards, just doing whatever permanent damage they can. They're not fully committing for the high ground. Again, probably because they don't have that Aegis anymore.
Yeah, they're just forcing him back again because they have all their lanes in good positions, right? Mid's always going to push in, top they just forced in, and then bottom also is starting to as well. So they still have full map control, and that means they're just going to farm much more than Beast Coast is in the next few moments.
Yeah.
And even get all these deep wards too. They have now placed a high ground vision. They've placed another kind of like unorthodox ward, but we've seen it more often as well to be able to watch it any time the Beast Coast does come outside the base.
Another 4 staff soon for TMT.
As many as possible.
Beast Coast are totally agreeing with you. They're like, we need as many ways to kite these BKB heroes.
It's like rule of thumb, you're playing versus Ursa, you better have some 4 stabs.
Yeah.
Like that hero, he's bound to get a basher at some point, and you have to be able to save your teammates if they do get jumped on. Because the point of Ursa is really blowing somebody up.
Smoke out. And they are going to run into Complexity here, but Miracle's already blinked away. They don't know where he is. Roy is frantically searching for whatever hero popped their smoke. They going to spot him. They see him now. Miracle. They just need to be able to kite him around, not get too close. The BKB is activated. There goes that Abyssal. There is going to be safe from the Oracle. But is it actually going to be able to keep him alive? Looks like the Bloodstone's going to heal him so much. So Brax is going to be fine. He turns back in. They actually get turned to stone there. Monkey's Forever halfway through the animation. Doesn't get off
Brax,
though. But Brax, he came back in and dies with IX Mike. Hand in hand, they go down together. TMT's not making it out either. Look at that big crit coming out from Limp. Roya is desperately going for any of these support kills because with all these heroes dead, the base is completely exposed, but he couldn't find the Shadow Shaman.
Z-Freak in that fight completely controlled TMT, and then also when he's rolling away, he blinked in front of him and caught the rolling boulder too to make sure he can't get away. Then he Glimmer survives
Oh
too.
no, the Medusa. There is no save mechanism unless they can get a 4-staff somewhere. He's out of mana and he just goes down. But a beautiful stun coming out from Brax. Can they actually win this fight still? Miracle caught out by the Rod of Atos. This Enrage is going to fall eventually. Magic Damage will finish him up. Monkey's Forever is dead as well. Limp has jumped to the back line. Can they catch him though? It's up to TMT, who's rolling forward, looking for it. They try and go for a blind stun. Limp is already blinked away to the side, but he does not have a TP. Not that Complexity or Beast Coast rather have an idea of that, so they're going to give up on that chase.
They get themselves some nice kills, but it is costly.
Yeah.
It is a triple buyback, and now if they lose either one of these, if they lose the Medusa or the Leshrac in this game, it could just end immediately right after that one. Also, it stagnates Envy's farm so much. He still has like 4,200, which is pretty nice for himself, but yeah, still going to take a little bit longer to get that Aya Scotty from to actually be able to deal with those BKBs. You know, when he has the Scotty, then they have another method of being able to kite.
Yeah. Beast Coast. I like their positioning right now because you're at a point against an Ursa TA where one pickoff will end the game because you don't have buybacks. Let's just play 5-man aggression. Let's just push forward, see if we can get some sort of pick off and complexity. If you continue to get pick after pick, maybe you secure Roshan for yourselves and everything starts being forgiven.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if Beast Coast is able to hold on, just a couple more of those sieges in this Dusa will have these next 1 or 2 items, and then she can hold her ground versus this TA and this Ursa quite easily.
But complexity, they know what they have to do. They just wait until almost everybody's up. They're going to go for the 4-man smoke. They know the Shaman, or Miracle rather, and the Ursa will be able to deal with this bottom wave.
Ryoya, I mean, they still have all this vision up. They have to be careful. The Hex.
The vision has been the name of the game. They go for the back line. TMT is going to be saved by the Oracle, but that means there's nobody saved. Roya, he's going to go down. He's the only one that has buyback, though, on the side of Beast Coast.
They want to try to
does not die.
It looked like Z-Freak wanted to try to catch more. He was pinging out Envy there as the Dusa while he's running away, but they can't quite get there. As now, see Limp, level 25, the new and improved level 25 TA. You get your bash. It's actually really nice.
Just a little bit more control.
I love this one because it now gives you a form of control on TA and it's BKB piercing. So it's like, it feels so much better having that as a TA because you can just get so many extra hits in between.
Before these TAs were forced to, like, sometimes you would see like Scythe of Ice pickups, like the same with the way Ursa's used to do, because all they just need is a disable. But the level 25 talent will do a lot. The Iascati is complete for Eternal Envy's Medusa.
He's top 2 net worth now.
Yeah.
And he's increasing that farm. We have bounties coming out. We also have 40 minutes, so double runes, double active runes on both sides, so likely DDs, and that third Rosh is up. So Refresher Shard, they have a Shadow Shaman and a Doom on their lineup. So they have very, very good targets for those. And also they have triple BKB cores, so this Refresher Shard has a lot of different uses that they could. I'm imagining it's going to go on C-Freak, though.
I mean, when you're at a point where you just need to be able to finish off these lanes, double Serpent Wards, they clean them up very quickly, but we saw still that range tracks almost died to, they lost tier 3 and almost the range tracks from Serpent Wards plus TA. Look at this heavy rotation coming out from Complexity, looking to catch somebody here at bottom. These fast moves, they keep on making them, trying to catch Beast Coast off kilter, but so far, Beast Coast has not been caught since they've used all those heavy buybacks until maybe the Sleight of Fist is going to get him caught.
And he just gets killed so fast. Mike can't even respond with the false promise. And now Mike's in trouble. They had vision of him, too.
Mike, they have a buyback on Roya, but Mike, he's in greater trouble here. He's going to try and give him a little bit of heal. Doesn't even go for the false promise on himself. No buyback there. That means no saving mechanism for any of these heroes that Complexity jump on.
Double wards as well. Like we said, the Shadow Shaman has the Refresher.
They're going for both lanes. TA's gonna head up at top, and look at Z-Freak jumps in, double wards just like that. But Brax, what a beautiful stun! The setup, the snowball save perhaps is gonna be able to get them out of this disaster zone. The Brax just laying in all this AoE damage. Miracle turns, tries to go for anything, but TMT still had that extra bit of save. There is gonna be Limp finishing off Brax. They needed to get that damage dealer out of here because it was a terrible fight for them at the start, but it looks like Complexity are just too strong. Miracle comes back with his second life. TA has nobody to stop her at this point.
Monkeys buys back. He buys Boots of Travel. He comes back to join the fight, too. They're just looking to clean up. They get the melee racks.
Trying to deal with some of these Serpent Wards. The bottom lane, all those Serpent Wards are actually too far away from that melee racks. And they didn't finish off top either. Limp was not at the start of that fight because of that. The Ghost Scepter does go down. Nullifier's going to be able to purge that one off. Monkeys forever hits another great stun. Eternal Envy's going to be the one saved here by the false promise, but they continue. Stun after stun, draining all of his mana. He's not going to be able to get off any stone. And that means that with the fall of the carry, Beast Coast, they lose Ike's Mike again. That is it. Beast Coast, they tried to hold on in this best of one against Complexity. They managed to drag the game out to 43 minutes, but it still was not enough. Complexity proved their strength here in NA and will be able to move on to the next round of the lower bracket.
There's some sick, like, 3-man stuns at the end there, right, on Beast Coast from Brax in that top lane, and then on bottom lane, it looks like they can almost turn it, but you start to see that network disparity really play the difference, right? Just how many items this TA and this Ursa have just to play on the front line and soak the spells.
Brax, he tried so hard
he did.
to carry this game. He won his lane very convincingly and then used all that farm multiple times to pull Beast Coast back from the brink. I mean, that first 10 minutes, fucked. It was looking like we weren't going to see minute 25, the way that game was going.
Level 1 Oracle at 5 minutes and 20 seconds or so. The Dusa was, level 4 around the 7 minutes or so. It was looking really disastrous. They fought their way back into it a bit there, but yeah, COL they still had it pretty good control. And I mean, Limp had a fantastic game on the TA, right? What did he end up on? 16, 2, and 9. The Ursa as well, 9, 1, and 13. Those two cores, they crushed it.
A Limp TA secures Complexity another round in this lower bracket, while Beast Coast is the first team eliminated. What has gone wrong for Beast Coast? What can be changed? What roster changes can we make? That's a question for the panel.